So when we found this coin, a George I early milled silver shilling, John noticed the SSC lettering on it, mentioned it was something to do with the South Sea bubble, which has been called the world's first financial crash and the world's first Ponzi scheme. I'd never heard of it, so I decided to do a little bit of research. Well, it all began when a British stock company was founded in 1711 by an Act of Parliament, the South Sea Company, SSC. It was both a public and private partnership that was supposed to reduce the national debt and help Britain increase trade and profits in the Americas, and in 1733 it was granted a trading monopoly in the region. The South Sea Company began offering those who bought stocks an incredible 6% interest. But when the War of Spanish Succession came to an end in 1713, the expected trade explosion just didn't happen. However, in 1718, King George I took over the governorship of the company. This inflated stocks further. Nothing instills confidence quite like the endorsement of a ruling monarch, and soon after stocks were returning 100% interest. But this is where cracks began to appear. The company wasn't making anywhere near the profits it had promised, and instead it was just trading in increased amounts of its own stock. This led to the company encouraging and bribing their friends and relatives to buy stock to further inflate the price and keep demands high. Then in 1720, Parliament allowed the company to take over the national debt. The £32 million debt was bought for £7.5 million, with assurances that the interest on the debt would be kept low. The idea being the company would use the money generated by the ever-increasing stock sales to pay the interest on the national debt. Stocks continued to sell, and they sold well, and they generated higher and higher interest and demand. And by August 1720, the stock price hit a staggering £1,000. It was a self-perpetuating cycle but lacked any meaningful fundamentals. The trade never happened, so therefore the company was literally trading against itself and the debt it had bought. Then in 1720, in September, the inevitable happened. Disaster struck. The bubble burst and stocks plummeted. By December they were down to a measly £124, losing 80% of their value at their height. Investors were ruined and people lost thousands, and there was a significant rise in suicides. There was widespread anger with the public demanding answers. No one could explain the mania or hysteria that had overcome the populace. Even one of the great thinking minds of the time, Sir Isaac Newton, had succumbed to the manic groupthink and reportedly lost £40 million in today's money in the scheme. George I and his son, the Prince of Wales, lost substantial sums of money too. The person that came to the fore to sort out the debacle was Robert Walpole, the first Earl of Orford. He was made Chancellor of the Exchequer, and in an effort to stop anything like this happening again, the Bubble Act was passed in Parliament in 1720, which forbids any such company like the South Sea Company being created without specific permission of the Royal Charter. So what has all this got to do with the SSC on the coin, you might ask? Well, after the South Sea Company bubble burst, it appeared that a silver bullion payment remained outstanding, and it is said that the 1723 SSC coins were part of a post-bubble rehabilitation deal for the South Sea Company, acting as a sort of ransom. On arriving in England, the ship the Royal George would have given up their cargo to the Treasury, who then arranged for some of the silver to be delivered to the Mint, and there it was made into coins. The bailout the South Sea Company was majorly controversial. So were the coins minted as a form of propaganda? I mean, what better way of demonstrating that the South Sea Company was prospering again than having one of their SSC coins in your pocket? Maybe this is why the most common denomination of the SSC coin is a shilling, which would circulate across all classes of society. Who knows? If you enjoy our videos, it'd be great if you could like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate that to keep our channel growing. Thank you.